We are live. We're going live. Yes, I do take chances of going live. The problem, of course, with that is no chance for editing and doing all those things. If you go bad, you go bad. But you know what? That's how the life industry is as well, isn't it? We live, and if something happens, it happens. You got to fix it and so on. So we'll give a few moments. People are still connecting to our channel. But yeah, welcome. Thank you for the guys that's connecting and so on. I will introduce our guest just now, but we'll show him now. I see he's like shaking. He's like, oh, it's ready. But before we start, let's go into a Harddrive intro. Goeie there, producer. And so we figured things out. A little bit of a blackout there. We're trying a new software. We're in our new venue, which is nice. So, with all waiting and anticipation and so on, we will give it over to Justin.
Hello.
Justin Kutsia. I hope I have it right.
Yeah.
Dankie toch. So, Justin.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what are you all involved? What do you call behind Justin?
Sure, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot. I'm a sound engineer, DJ. Well, I won't say the singing thing, but yeah, that's also
I've
great.
seen you sing a bit, not too bad. And you do some MC stuff as well?
Yes, MC as well. I'm a jack of all trades in the music industry,
nice.
so yeah.
So I think the first time I've met you was at Trader Square.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes sound guys, do you get two types of sound guys? No. You get some guys that come and they put the mixer there and they sit back and nobody touches my equipment. And then you get some of the other guys that's a bit more open and say, look, I'll show it works, and if they have their own sound engineer, I have no issues. You're welcome to mix and so on. I'll even show where I've got all the settings and so on. And I think it was a bit like that. I think I met you and you guys did a thing, or we did a thing, and you just came up and you were like all friendly and that. And I was like, yes, that's nice. That's a nice sound, dude.
That's it, yeah. And no, we have to be friendly. You can't have your attitude and think you're the boss on the venue. So
yeah.
Maybe I know something that you forgot about, but yeah, that's how we can work about it.
Nice. So how long have you been doing, I'll ask a few questions. Once, how long have you been doing this, plus minus?
Well, in the music industry, full-time and professionally now is 20 years. So I started on a young age from high school, to put it this way. So thanks to my grandfather introduced me into the music industry. So
Okay. Yeah. So what was like your first things you did? Or I take it like high school. So did you play some to your friends, or did they come ask you, come DJ for my birthday or something?
Yes. To put it this way, my grandfather gave me a phono mixer way back in his younger days.
Oh, yeah.
So they used it there, so I'm like, yeah, Opa, you know what? Music's for old people. I'm not into the music yet. Maybe one day when I'm 50 years old, I'll go into the music industry. But yeah, so I had the thing in my cupboard bugging me for a while and started finding out how it works. And
now you're into it, and you got hooked.
and now I got hooked. Yeah.
It is amazing now how the music can just get you hooked. I mean, to be fair, you also have to take a lot of nonsense. I'll try to use the nice words out there. Correct. Even me sometimes, you get to a venue and you set up and it's just chaos and this and that, and you think, geez, why am I doing this? But once it first beat wax, this is why I do it.
That's it, yeah.
It's like the music, and it just goes, and you can see the people enjoying and everything and so on.
That's it, that's correct.
So can you remember what your first speaker is or mixer that you bought?
Yes. The first speaker that I bought was actually a homemade thing. Now,
that's true. 20 years ago, building a decent homemade PA was normal.
Yeah. Oh. So I went to this one flea market way back in Alberton. I think for my whole PA system, I paid about 400 Rand for drivers and tweeters, crossovers, cabling. So that was...
Yeah, I think my first speakers too were Fane. I had Fanes. I had 212, 215 Fanes that I built my boxes with. Very rubbish crossovers, but they were like a resistor and a capacitor. It went to the tweeter, and that's how it started. People were much more forgiven, eh?
Yeah,
now the guys have become extremely technical.
Yeah,
sometimes, you know, and so on. Look, me being in the sound too, and that I realize there's some speakers that they work, but man, no headroom, and you've got your limits. We're not here to throw names, so but you do know certain things that you might battle with, and that. So I understand sometimes when artists say, "Please not that," or so on.
That's correct, yeah.
And honestly, I also hate sometimes where guys like, "No problem, I've got the tech riders," and then artists still get the stuff that they said not to. And then the DJs or the sound engineers cross because like, oh, that guy's just being difficult. Well, he gave the tech rider, he said no problem, and they've gone. And I found often, you know, with the guys, if you just phone them and say, look, I don't have this, but can we work with this?
That's correct, yeah.
Like, yeah.
You have to accommodate your
Half the time it's just my producer that makes all list. I don't even know what it says.
Yeah. Just have to sit and read.
Ooh, we're getting in trouble here. We're giving away the secrets. So you say it's about 20 years, eh?
Yes, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
hard, difficult times, battling, but
yes.
yeah.
So, yeah, and then I've seen you sing once or twice at, are we allowed to do Topshots there?
yes.
Quite a nice place there. I mean, the guys are so friendly and so on. I was quite surprised. Justin, you introduced me there to do just some video and so on, and
that's correct,
the people's attitude is so amazing. I was at the second time and I felt like I just fell in. I'm like family, which is quite and quite cool, you know, that's and so correct, on. And and there I've heard you sing a bit and MC once or twice and so on, and you're doing well.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely, but
But give us a bit. What's your company's name, or what do you run under?
Well, at this moment we're running under JCCDE Entertainment due to the wide spectrum that I'm working with. So it's not only now DJing and sound engineering, so it's becoming MC and singing along and do the whole entertainment thing. So,
yes.
We have to jump around, mark off your molars, so you have to intervene.
Yes, and I take it you also sit in the same issue as all our sound guys that work has officially, well not officially, for the last nearly going for 5 months, no shows.
Yes,
nothing.
Yeah.
It's wow. And just a reminder, and I asked Justin to join us if he can. We'll see that time, 5th of August.
Yes.
Light SA red. I should have made our background red for now already, no?
Yeah, we should have switched the DMX.
Switch it over to red. But it's an awareness of government and that. Guys, we're there. We're not getting support. I don't think sound industry is really getting any support.
Yeah, that's a sad part of this whole industry, because everybody's only recognizing the visual side of the industry and the singers and most of your on-stage performance.
Yeah, that you notice.
So they don't think about what's happening behind the scenes. Us sound engineers doing all the work, have to make sure that the whole show is running according to spec and, like you said, according to the tech riders and stuff. So nobody worries actually about the DJs and the sound engineers doing all the work. They're more worried about the artists singing, but you said, we are there in the background, so...
Yeah, I see at least some of the artists, what's great of them is they've tried to do YouTube shows and then do fundraising to support others. So thanks guys out there, supporting the guys. Other guys I never even thought about, like say background is, I've heard some guys that for instance do all the props and that. So for like visual too, where they do like the prop backgrounds and the like even for opera or theaters and that, create all the props and all that. They're also out of work. They don't have things to do, and photographers that do all the background work and that says, well, we also stuck and so on.
Yeah, especially catering as well.
Catering. Yeah. So 5th of August, and we're gonna light up our building. We're already at a building. We're gonna light it up red, and we're gonna do a little bit of music. Got a Christian band that's playing a bit, and maybe 1 or 2 circular guys. We'll see how it goes. Do maybe just a song or 2. It is just to make awareness of you guys. You can join on the channel. We'll give some time later. It's 5th of August. We will still discuss the actual time and so on. And Justin said if he's available, he'll definitely join us. So thanks, Justin, for bringing your part to your business to come and help us. We're all doing this for free. I'm bringing my company too, and it's to make an awareness and so on. And so on. So One question I usually always ask my. Before we get to questions, guys, you're welcome to send some questions.
We have a question.
Okay, yeah, you must talk.
So, as a sound engineer, Steers or KFC?
Steers or KFC? Shoot.
I remember those days, guys. Just to give you an idea, our lunch is a burger in one hand, and hand on mixer. Lunch on a festival. What is that?
Yes.
Okay, your preference, if you could choose.
If I could choose, unfortunately Burger King is not part of it, but so
No, but it was very precise there.
yes, so I would say KFC. They still open late.
The KFC, the open rate. Who do we have that question to thank for?
From Lindeen.
From Lindeen.
Lindeen.
Nice. My problem with KFC is when I work, one thing I hate is oil. All my stuff. So I like the KFC,
Yes.
but then when I work, it's a bit greasy. So for me, I'm going to go on Steers on that one. Not for taste, but for me, for practicality. Amazing.
For
Two people,
tidiness.
Two different foods, yeah.
flavors. But yeah, it's like you say, when you go travel around and so on, man, you live on Kentucky, Steers, and Spur.
That's
It's about, and like I say, now that you have all the shops like Burger King and McDonald's.
That's good.
With McDonald's.
From Pops.
From Peter out there, yeah, McDonald's. Yeah, we do a lot of McDonald's because they usually also
of junk
open a lot at night, ne?
Yeah, yes, a lot of junk food.
You know that feeling when you start 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning and when you've gone through a show and they've sort of forgot to feed you, then when you back up and you finish 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, I have to eat something. Coffee.
Caffeine. A lot
So,
of caffeine.
question to you.
Yes.
What do you feel is one of the very important things, like when you travel, that you find, you can call a few, but let's say, what's your main thing that you think any DJ should carry with him in his little gadget packet or whatever?
Well, I would say out of my perspective, 90% of my time is batteries. I always run out of batteries on a show. So yeah, that's...
And try and find a 9-volt battery?
Exactly.
In the middle of nowhere?
Exactly. 9-volt batteries and pen lights are quite easy to find, but 90% of your venues, it's far from garages or shops. So yeah.
And some of them, when you do find a 9-volt in the middle of nowhere, $90.
Big bucks. 90 bucks.
$90 for ever ready.
Yes, and then they...
You need to because it's ever ready.
Yeah, 2 of them, 2 or 3 songs, then it's flat, and then you need to jump on another one. Yeah, yes.
That stuff. And so
You guys are going to get sued.
we're going to get in trouble. Yeah,
That's
sorry.
alright.
Look.
Nothing against you,
Look,
everybody.
you see, Evereadys are actually cheap, but the problem is when you find them in the middle of nowhere, they know there's none other, so they overprice them crazy.
Yeah, and especially then that battery is like 2 or 3 years old, just hanging on
Oh
the
yeah, it's
shelf.
been sitting there, and that's why it's gone a bit flat. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not nothing against Eveready, but yeah, there's a lot of batteries, a lot of
And
name
so on.
brands and stuff. But Eveready, you always ready.
So while we're at this topic, I try to eventually start showing a product that I want to endorse as well and so on. And we do supply them as well and sell them and so on. So the one I want to look at, and she's going to try to open that thing, is a little mixer called the Allen & Heath i8.
Ooh.
Let's see if she can find it, our producer.
It's not working.
Oh,
wait.
yes,
wait.
you
There
got
we
it.
go.
Gooi hem daarso. There you go. We just Justin's face vanished there for a moment. Okay. This is a little mixer I love to tour with. I travel with this thing. As a sound engineer sometimes, of course, it's not for I don't use this desk to try push a band in, okay? But it's got quite a few multifunctionals. First, I'm also in a band. I'm a drummer and so on. So as you can look at that mixer, you will see 2 microphone inputs, 2 stereo inputs. Now what makes this little mixer nice is the first 2 channels. It's got a little switch that selects it to a high Z. So it becomes a 2-channel DI box. You can pan it left and right and you've got a 2-channel DI box. Guys, DI boxes. It's one thing you should often have a hump problem, or a guy wants to plug guitars straight into a jack running down a 30 or 40 meter snake and the humming is nice there. It's a 2-channel DI box. Nice thing. Other one, of course, to do like video stuff and so on, like I am using here, is I've got my 2 Samsung microphones plugged in there, Phantom on, USB into the mixer. Wow, did I have a 2-channel USB sound card? There you go.
All in one.
Nice thing too, when I do play drummers, because it's a relatively small mixer and I've got it in my little travel case, I get to my drum kit. If I don't necessarily have monitors or I don't want to make the life difficult in it, I've got my own headphone amplifier. So just give me a balanced signal or a unbalanced, if that's really all you have. And I've got my own headphone amp. So guys, what a great little mixer. I love that thing.
Yeah.
It works. It just, I've got two of them. Like I said, one is running here now and the other one is in my store. When I go out with my laptop bag, it goes with me. So for the guys to think out there, a nice little thing. So that's my sort of ad for this desk, which I use and so on. So back to you, Justin.
Yes, what can we do?
We actually got another question.
Oh, okay,
through.
questions.
As DJs,
That's your question, Justin.
what song do you always start with?
Well,
Ooh.
that's actually quite a good question, to put it this way, not an answer. I grew up way back in the 80s, 90s, and some of the 70s, 60s. So yeah, my favorite song to start off with, especially to do a sound check as well, is Toto from Africa.
Okay, yes.
So yeah, so that's a nice song to start off because all the equalizing on the song, the whole mastering is done so perfectly that you get all the frequencies you need. But to start a party off, I would definitely say Going Back West. That's one of my favorite songs.
I never thought about that, but it does
Yeah.
work nice, ne?
Yeah, yes.
And then
yes.
it shows you how the mood goes.
Exactly, Going Back West, 500 Miles, Green Door.
Yeah.
That's one of the three best songs to start off. Then you know exactly how your party is going to run off. And yeah, easy way to read your crowd.
Now, the stigma from us sound engineers to DJs. Now we're getting in there.
Yes.
We always say the problem with DJs is often the guys know music, but they suck at understanding equipment.
Exactly, yes.
So at least meeting you, I've learned that you've also at least done a lot more effort in learning equipment too and actually how to plug in the stuff and so on.
That's it, yeah.
Because I often do, and I'm guilty, and sorry guys, you know, I get there and the guy says he's a DJ and I just hear humming issues on the speakers, and talk and so on, you know.
And a lot of feedback.
And
yes.
sadly, everybody's given that stigma as DJs, but that's not true. Because I mean, you get really brilliant DJs, and like I said, met you too, you work with bands too, and the sound is crisp and it's clear, and the vocals are good when you do artists. So I think although we have that stigma, again, we need to put that one side. It's not always like that, you know.
No.
So I mean, how many guys also claim I'm sound engineer?
But yeah, meanwhile,
And then, yeah, and I know getting in trouble in my YouTube channel. We try to keep everybody happy and so on.
That's great.
But what I'm trying to say to you too is you know, do effort and learn the trade.
no,
You
the
know?
thing is,
If you're some engineer,
yeah,
learn to engineer music. Or,
that's
or
great.
so on,
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, take your equipment while you sit at home doing nothing, especially in the lockdown. You've got enough time to learn all your equipment, especially your digital desks. Take your guitar, plug it in,
Fix all your cables.
fix all your cables.
You have time.
Oh, we won't talk about that.
Okay, then as a sound engineer,
Okay.
what song would you start with?
What song
Always
would I start with? Wow. I start with the songs. It's a very weird song. It's called The Spooks. Firstly, I tested too because, look, I'm a sound engineer, but man, when you set up a line arrays and subs too, you want to feel that doo-doof and stuff and so on.
Nice,
So I
yeah.
start with one called The Spooks usually, and then I do play a song called from Brian Duncan, which is sort of a jazz fusion feeling.
Yes.
And it's got like a percussion bass, drumming with some, I think it's like trumpet in it. So that gives me a good idea of a vocal range, instrumental range, and then I'll probably play something from Adele to give me a good feeling for vocal.
That's
So
correct.
that's sort of my startup, because for me it's more about sound, testing the sound and so on, and then from there whatever the band's playing.
All right, we have another question.
Go for it. Ooh.
Except for COVID, what would you regard as the most challenging part of your career?
You start. What's
Yes, I would say to keep my customers happy. That's one of the most challenging parts in the whole career. But also good attitude towards your clients. So yeah, that's what I would say.
cool. My side usually is to know, the most challenging is to know when to stop something and tell the guys, you know, whether you're playing too loud or the drumming is terribly just, you know, hitting it
Hitting
and that.
hard, yeah.
To know the point where I have to step in But as well, guys that you're into sound there, if you're going to step in, you need to have made a name that if they quickly say, who do you think you are, or so on, that you can say, well, I've worked with this and this and this.
That's correct.
This is films that was recorded that I was involved in, so on. So at least I don't just talk in a point of trying to be difficult, but with reason. And so on. But I think that's the most challenging. That's like you said, keep the customers happy. But for me at the same time to know when I have to step in and say,
That's
whoa.
correct, yeah.
You know, especially when the band, we do sound check and everybody wants to blah, 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 that I have to say, stop, I asked for the guitar only.
That's correct, yeah.
Oh, then you'd start guitar, then you hear the drum kit, eventually like, shh, guitar only.
Yeah, you have to do
Kick.
your instrument.
Yeah, so that's for me the toughest point, yeah.
Yes, yeah, yo.
Any other thing there? Are
No.
we safe? Ah, okay.
Yes, we're safe.
We're quite safe in that there.
Put your questions in, guys.
Getting
Yeah,
in
bring the
trouble.
questions. We need a lot of questions.
We like putting them on the spot.
Okay,
Yes,
so coming to a close.
Yes.
Why do you keep doing this? Even although, like you say, you really go through bad times and people can be really ugly. What motivates you to keep on in the sound, on the DJ side?
Well, I have to say, music, it takes a lot of stress away. It's how can I put it on? I need to put it in an easy way. It's,
Yeah, I really put
it's
you on the
more
spot then, eh?
comfortable to work in the music industry, especially if you've got family stress or financial stress, stuff like that. Doing music and shows takes everything away, because at that moment you only think about your show, you only worry about the artist on stage, and yeah, it takes most of your stress away.
And music has a way, net, to
Yeah,
just depending on what you listen and
Especially
so on.
when your heart's sore, yeah.
Yeah.
Lekker depressing and yeah,
It
gooi 'n lekker
It is a
flute
proper
song
stress
and
reliever,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, but further question. Got another question?
No.
Oh, you don't? I thought you
Nothing.
said we have a question. Ah,
Come on
great,
guys,
man.
spoil the questions.
Ah, that's fine. Well, it was very nice to have you here.
Thank you
So
for having me.
Thank you for coming and so on.
Yes,
and of
definitely.
course, we'll see more of you in the future and so on.
Yes,
Maybe we'll
yes,
have another
yes.
podcast at some point. Maybe we'll be live on the 5th of August. We'll see how it goes. Everything will be red.
Put a thumbs
Yeah.
up if you want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to see it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Don't confuse it with Christmas
Yeah,
and so on.
I'll wear my Santa suit for that day.
Well,
Already.
there we go.
gosh.
How quick can you grow a Bart in 2 weeks?
Yeah,
Real.
yeah, I'll make it. Bietjie compost.
Great. Well, thank you, all the guys out there. Guys, if you're interested in those mixes too, please leave us a message and I'll get back to you guys. If you want to know more about Justin and his thing, send me again a message and I'll send the link to his website and so on. We'll probably eventually add it on later. Yeah.
We have a very interesting question.
Oh, yes, yeah, come on.
Another one.
Luckily, that's the thing with live podcast. You don't have a solid time. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
What would you do in case of an emergency if you're of a system failure?
What would I do?
That's why you've got
A boombox.
a boombox.
I'm joking.
Now you always have to have a backup plan. So luckily, with our industry, I've got Harddrive Productions there. That's
Fun
always
quickly. Need
like, no,
something.
help. So yeah, but no, normally we take backup stuff, extra set of speakers just for in case. So
Yeah, one advice I always give to the guys too. I mean, we get digital amps now where we can literally run probably like 4 subs and 8 speakers on one amp. And they're like, oh, I've got this 20 kVA amp that could do that. I said, not a good idea. If that one amp fails, your show's dead. So I try to run more on a few amps so that, if one stack fails, at least we can say, guys, look, we can still operate our volume, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
electricity is very important. Guys, you've got to check your electricities. Guys just plug in. They've got like 80 amps that they need from amplifiers and they plug it in one plug.
Yeah,
And
yes,
that just looks for trouble and so on. If you're not sure about this stuff, make sure there's generators, a backup, especially if it's an important show, and so on. But yeah, sometimes when you're stuck in that position, you're stuck. I mean, just to give you an idea, years ago, we had cans. The days we still use cans, you know those days.
yes, the old parking.
So we had 4 cans aside. We had a dimmer pack. I'm not going to give the place, but we had it put in by a qualified electrician. He's gone. Halfway through the show, died. We found out the neutral line came out because we're running 3-phase power. So 380 volts for all the stuff. So it burned our dimmer pack. Luckily, it's just a dimmer pack because the amps were on normal plugs. So we found 3 multi-switches. I had the lights on multi-switches and I had a person sitting there.
On and off, on and off.
Not the best thing to do. You're going to eventually burn that switch. But
Yeah.
that was one way of making something work.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So,
you
yeah.
have to have a backup plan.
So, but that's
Maybe.
but that's a good thing about engineers and DJs too. You know, you can have all the knowledge too, but fault finding is a very important thing.
Yes,
if there's a
that's
fault,
why if you're a DJ,
be calm.
yeah,
Don't
that's-
push every button and like,
that's
this
correct.
guy
Yeah.
really know what he's doing.
I'll say that's it. That's it. Yeah, unfortunately.
So is that us? Any last word?
Yeah, if you, not to be ugly or anything, but if you in the DJ industry, rather stay there. If you want to go over to sound engineering, go do your study work. Do some extra, how can I say, look up the stuff on YouTube and so on to see how it works. Just don't think you're a DJ and you can just pop on and become a sound engineer. That's
Yeah, it worries
it's
me
difficult.
when the guys have 2 speakers, which is great, and then they say, no, I can do a live band.
Yeah, no,
And it's
unfortunately it's not.
Where's all the microphones, and you need a
Yeah.
little bit more than 4 channels and so on.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
that's why we must respect ourselves. Like I said to you, I'm a good sound engineer. But man, when I sit in front and trying to remember music and that, oh man, I need a DJ. You know,
Yeah,
you guys, you know your music, eh?
Yeah,
And I've
no,
heard you too when you play. You like, you see the mood and then you go. I would be like, what song would work? Try and find a song. Panic state. Yeah, no. So I'll stay engineering. I'm not a good DJ.
Yeah, no, I
So,
won't.
We're all good at what we do, no?
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, it's nothing wrong to ask or to learn. You're never
Yes.
too old to learn.
Perfect. Thank you guys out there. Please, like I always say, please subscribe to the channel, support it, you know, and the COVID times do this. Anyway, we get our messages out and in a way stay in the business, you know, and at least keep us going. It's not financial gain as such really, but
Yeah.
you know, at least equipment is being used for something. So again, please like and subscribe and so on. So Justin, thank you for coming today.
Rainier and Harddrive, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Amberly hiding there in the background, that's our narrator and asking questions and operator and this thing. Thank you again as well for being here and helping us. We should put a link to, she also sort of runs her own thing and so on. Thank you to all. Till next time. This ends. Bye bye.